This is Jeff Byers from Creature Replica, and you're listening to the Tim O and Harley Show.
Welcome to the Tim O and Harley Show.
Thank you for listening to the Tim O and Harley Show. I am Tim O. Over there's my partner in mind crime, Mr. Ben Harley. Say hello, Harley.
What is happening, people?
Ben Witch Hazel Harley.
That's me.
You're like soothing. Yeah, you're like soothing relief.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I'm kind of abrasive, and you like to smooth things over. How about that?
That's right. You're more like Wolf's Bane. Hi, Tim.
Yes. Hello to all the deep thinkers out there too, and thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you guys
here today. Let's see here, Mr. Ben Harley. Did you go back to the lake this weekend?
Yes, I did. Yeah. So I actually bought I think I told you yesterday. I bought a boat.
A yacht. Boat. That's right. You bought a yacht.
Yeah. So I was up there with my Flex Seal.
Did you keep the warder out?
Yeah, I didn't cut a hole or put a screen door in it by any means, and then Flex Seal it. But no, yes. Yeah, it's got some mild abrasions, Tim. Let's say. But yeah, it needs some work. But for what I really paid for it, the boat, I mean, the trailer and the motor were worth what I paid. The boat, it's going to take a little work, but that's okay.
Did you really put Flex Seal on it?
Yes, I did.
Did it work?
Flex Seal. Well, I think for the most part, yes. Well, I Flex Sealed the seams on the inside. So what I was going to do, this coming up, we can flip it over and Flex Seal the bottom seams a little bit. But, it was funny. You were talking to my dad. He's like, well, you did, you got a real good, deal on the trailer and the motor. He's like, but you might got what do you call a pig in the poke or something with the boat or whatever. So I don't know. So yeah, that, we'll see what happens. I'm going to see if I can get a ship shape. I think so,
Gotcha.
If not, Tim, I'll be calling you from Davy Jones Lock. We'll be doing our show. We'll be doing our shows from there.
Right. Yeah. So you went up there for Labor Day weekend in the space-time continuum. Did you guys have a good time?
Yes,
You've been going up there every weekend, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Good. We went up there Thursday night and then came back Sunday night. I didn't have the luxury of having Labor Day off. I had to labor on Labor Day. That was you're supposed to do, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure that's the point, but why not? Hey, let's do it. Yeah.
So, I came back a little early, but yeah, Tim, it was funny at one point. I went to the store and I was coming back from the store and I saw something that I've only seen in the movies. And I came over the hill and I was staring a cow pretty much right in the eyes as he was crossing the road. And there was about 10 more that were thinking about crossing with him. Yeah. And then there was a few more coming across. So they were trying to make their way across the road.
They got through a fence, did they?
Yes, they did. Yes. And,
I got to tell you, Harley, it's happened to me. You know where I live. Yeah. It's happened to me. Yes. I know exactly what you mean. Yep.
Yeah. So it was funny because, I've seen a lot of cows in my life. I see them a lot. Okay. I see, and I've even talked to a few of them. I haven't tipped any.
Right.
But
that's good.
But it was pretty funny to see a herd of cows trying to cross the road in front. I was like, what in the hell? But hopefully he did get them back later, it looks like.
Oh, good.
I didn't see
good thing it wasn't sheep. Good thing it wasn't a bunch of sheep. We've had too many horror sheep movies. You might have gotten scared. It might have frightened you. You might have been like in Black Sheep. Could have been like that. Or Billy the Kid. Yes. You don't know. Well, those goats, I guess. But still.
Well, still, Tim. There is a little goat farm.
Uh-oh.
Not far from, So I was wheeling past there one day, and a couple of them said how you do to me. I think that's what they were saying.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, it was funny. I'd never seen that many in one spot. But yeah, it was quite interesting. You come over a hill and there's a cow looking at you. Like, what the hell,
Right.
And it's a sort of a busy road too. You know what I mean? So
right. Well, you do remember your driver's education, right? You remember yes. the rules of the road, or that the cow has a right of way.
Yes,
correct.
He's a big son of a gun. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I'm not hitting that side of the beast, but yeah, it was kind of funny. So it did remind me of the, it happens in horror movies a lot. It seems like for some odd reason, but yeah. So I finally had my first cows crossing the road in front of me experience. No motel hell or nothing like that. I didn't get Farmer, Vincent didn't come out and give me the old chloroform, I think is what he did. So I survived him.
Very good.
During the day.
So,
there we go.
Very good. So, well, you got that going for you at least.
Yeah, So there you go.
All right.
Yeah, interesting, Tim.
Nice. We
turned into a horror show if I'd have hit one of them.
All right. We spent Labor Day in Castle Dio. That's the pool now, and
stand up and shout.
We have so much concrete and stone. I swear it is Castle Dio. I'm going to have to get a big sword and some chainmail armor.
Dude, you gotta go out there at least. I'm gonna have to pick a song for you. You're gonna have to play for me or to christen me.
Well, I might even have to. They might even have to change it. I might even have to give Angio a nickname, Lady of the Pool, because she might have to distribute swords. On the side of the pool, because it is a little Excalibur-esque, castle-esque. It's more and more gothic to the point of, I don't know if they had swimming pools in old gothic castles or not, but there is one here. So
that's great, my friend.
Yeah. So speaking of Mr. Ben Harley, I did watch a few things anyway, so we'll get through these here before we get to our official film. Let's see here. Where am I going to start? How about this? From 1978. Watched a movie called The Grapes of Death.
The Grapes of Death. It's like the Apes of Wrath.
Yeah. Well, this is basically a snooty French version of The Crazies.
Okay. All right. Snooty.
Yeah. The prolific director, Jean Rollin, or as I like to call him, Gene Rollin.
Gene Rollin?
Yes. Directed this. And, it's a pretty good, eerie flick. It really is. And this guy's kind of known for making those European weird vampire lesbian type movies where, are we watching this because it's scary or because we see like 70s European women like hanging out together?
Smooching at each other.
Yeah, pretty much.
Taking each other's tops off. I get it.
Yeah, but this is much more like The Crazies.
Okay.
They're putting pesticides or something on the grapes. It's wine country.
Oh, nice.
And so the wine is actually making people go crazy and kill each other and stuff.
Really?
But the beer drinkers are safe, and I'm not joking. That is integral to the plot. The beer drinkers are okay, and the wine drinkers are not. They're killing each other, and they're trying to figure out what is the source. They don't know the source. And stuff. So watching it, like, it's the wine, you dummies. Like, jeez.
Awesome.
Not too bad though. Not too bad. It's kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, it actually sounds pretty fun.
Yeah,
even if it is snooty, but you're a wine drinker, Tim. So you're all right.
And snooty, so it works out just fine. Yeah. So,
exactly.
Let's see here. From 1988, we watched.
I love 88, Tim.
Dead Heat.
Dead Heat, okay.
Dead Heat is the one with Treat Williams and Joe Piscopo in it. And they play the two cops that they find like the zombie machine that reanimates dead people for like 12 hours or something like that. I've had a love-hate relationship with this movie. I don't like Joe Piscopo. I am one of the people who's a Joe Piscopo hater. The only funny thing he ever did, I told Angio, I said, to me, the only funny thing I remember him doing was Saturday Night Live, where he did Frank Sinatra redoing Ebony and Ivory with Stevie Wonder.
Oh, my God.
Do you remember that?
You're my amigo.
Yes. So that was hilarious. I said, I don't remember Joe Piscopo ever making me smile after that. Like, I just was not a fan. Does have some Darren McGavin in it. It was directed by Mark Goldblatt, who's actually a really well-respected editor, but he also directed 1989's The Punisher, which I think is underrated. I do. I think it's underrated. I'm sorry to tell you that I do think that movie is a little underrated. I'm not saying it's great.
No.
But it's not like awful. It's not like Garbage Pail Kids bad, is what I'm saying. No. By the way, anybody listening, bad. Garbage Pail Kids is as bad as you remember. It's not even fun to go back to, so don't try it. It's worth it. I did it so you don't have to, so don't worry about it.
Oh, poor Timo. Yeah.
But Dead Heat was okay. It's just all right. There's like it's a little uncomfortable for me. Like, doesn't totally work, I guess.
Well, sure. Okay.
But the effects are really good. Some of the effects are great. When they go into the butcher shop and the giant cow carcass comes to life. You had an experience like that at the lake this weekend, Mr. Ben Harley.
I think so, yes.
Your cow, I assume, had a head and skin, though.
Yeah, it was looking at me right in the eyes, too. Man.
Okay, well, this one
wait a minute. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty funny stuff, though. Let's see here. A couple of things I want to talk to you about, Mr. Ben Harley.
Yeah, later.
Two things I watched that I know you'd like to speak on. So first up, from 1978. Now, just given the fact I watched a movie from 1978, I know you're going to want to speak on this.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm going to give you... We're going to have a little game here. You tell me what movie I watched by the cast.
Okay.
That was in the movie, okay? So I'm going to start with the star of the movie to make this easy for you.
No,
okay?
Jesus.
All right. From 1978, starring... We'll start with Michael Caine.
Okay.
Keep going?
Yes.
Directed by Irwin Allen.
Oh, Lost in Space. Oh, all right, Tim.
Also starring Catherine Ross. Richard Widmark.
Okay.
Richard Chamberlain.
Man.
Olivia de Havilland.
Jeez.
Ben Johnson.
Yeah, okay.
Lee Grant.
All right.
Jose Ferrer. 1978.
Swarm?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you stopped me right before Slim Pickens.
I was afraid you had to hit him with Slim Pickens.
Or Henry Fonda. He was coming. Henry Fonda was coming up at the end. Well, I gave you Michael Caine in 78. That's, so.
Yeah, well, I was like, it's got to be something epic.
Now, here's a bonus round.
Yes,
okay? So you tell me, was this one of Michael Caine's prestige movies or paycheck movies?
Paycheck movies.
Mr. Ben Harley.
Damn it, though. But for me, it's one of his prestige. No, I can't say it's one of his prestige movies. But, man, I hold this movie. It's got a special place in my heart. It really does. Even I know we reviewed it and going back and watching it. It
okay. Don't hold up. It does not hold
up.
No,
it's just okay.
Yeah.
But I just remember, man, being so enthralled by this film when I watched it as a kid. I mean, and even the giant bee, when the kid sees the giant bee, freaked me out. Man, as a kid. Freaked me out. You know what I mean? I felt like that kid. I was like, oh, yeah, no, like. I really, man, I just enjoyed the movie. And then also Slim Pickens' performance.
Yeah.
Academy Award winning performance. I don't care what anybody says.
If you watch Slim Pickens doing that and then you watch the other actors around the room, besides Henry Fonda keeps it together. The rest of the actors are trying not to laugh. I promise you they were laughing at him. Because you got to imagine like the insanity on that set. Like, are you seriously?
Oh my God.
Bees? I mean, come on now.
Bees, right. Slim Pickens wasn't happy, man. He came and got his son and carried his heart wrenching as a kid, man. But yeah, what a now Tim, how do they? Is that at the end? Don't they use the sirens? Or
it's a sound. Yeah, and you're watching the movie. You know exactly what's going on. Like every time they have like a siren or like a warning siren or something, or like a tornado siren. Every time one of those things goes off, the bees are there. You're like, I figured this out. I sure hope the scientists can figure it out. These are the same scientists trying to come up with COVID cures, are there? Because, man, it's right in front of your face right there, Yeah. So it's
warm.
Yeah, it was all right. I liked it when I was a kid. It is. It's too long. It's way too long.
Yeah.
Here is the good part of it, I think. Michael Caine. Oh, Ben Harley. He's a dick.
Isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. There's a point. There's one point where they're down in that shelter or wherever the main base or whatever.
Yeah.
He goes
underground
off,
thing.
man.
Yeah.
Just goes off and almost has a Peter Cushing hair flip.
Yeah.
He gets so crazy. His hair gets all crazy, and he's crazy, screaming and yelling. It's like, but for me, besides Gene Wilder, I don't think anybody can go from 0 to 60 as fast as Michael Caine. From 0 to asshole.
And Gene Wilder also has that crazy hair. What is wrong with their hair? I want to know what's wrong with Michael Caine's hair and Gene Wilder's hair. What is wrong with it?
It's like it has a life of its own. It's almost like an octose. Man.
Yeah,
it has this really weird. It goes in different directions, and almost like it's coming to life.
Yes,
as they're acting.
Listen, both these guys have hair that is thick and thin, straight and curly, short and long, mobile and immobile.
Yes. Oh man, but
it's some weird stuff.
Mr. Ben Harley is a dickhole in this movie, man. He really is, man. Yeah. I'll tell you what. He gave us a performance, though. Whether it was
right,
so he could get a lakefront home or what?
Yeah.
He did not pull any punches though in this one.
It's still better than Jaws Revenge. I gotta tell you. So here's the thing. So with me on social media, which I don't use very much except to post about our show and tell people happy birthday and stuff like that. And I do use Messenger to keep up people. Yeah. Sure. But I not unfriend. I unfollow people who post like negative things or anything about politics. If you're picking arguments, people, I unfollow you. Not unfriend. I mean, that's fine. Whatever. You can pick your arguments if you want. So basically, I only see things that I have not unfollowed. Unfortunately, we live in a world where I keep seeing like 2 people and a couple groups keep flowing through because it's all that's left. It's all that's left that I have unfollowed. And one of them is a Jaws group. And I got to tell you, if I see one more person try to apologize for Jaws Revenge, I am going to kick kittens in the eyes.
Yeah. Why should you apologize for?
Like, come on, it's just a stop it. People are like going, hey, look, Jaws Revenge is way better than Jaws 3. Hold on, pump the brakes. Pump your brakes. Sorry about that. Yeah. No, you're wrong about that. I mean, I'm not. We can argue whether or not Jaws 3 is fun like I do or just awful like Harley does. But I think he would say we're not talking about Jaws the Revenge. Jaws Revenge is like Great White. It's like the last shark. Yeah, it is. It's terrible. Actually, there's Severn's putting out Cruel Jaws, which is like a made-for-TV mishmash of The Last Shark and a couple other movies. It's Italian, so brace yourself. So they're bringing that stinker out.
Just go with it.
Yeah,
like our main movie today.
Well, exactly. Yes. Let's see here. So we got on the Swarm. So last up, Mr. Ben Harley, something I just wanted to mention. Yeah. I don't know the exact year. It says 2020 on it. I don't think it's actually technically 2020. I could be wrong about that, but and it's on Amazon Prime. They're not always perfect about what year. I don't know what the hell is up. Amazon Prime is kind of like I don't know, the junkyard of like good information on their movies when they're streaming and stuff.
Sure.
A lot of times they'll credit like the year with the year it was uploaded. I don't know why they do that. They'll have like a movie from the 60s and it says 2020 on. It's like, come on, people, get your shit together. It is 2020. Can we be a little more accurate than that? You see people comment, I don't think this movie was made in 2020. Yeah, I know. They're all wearing suits and derbies and it's black and white. Of course it wasn't made in 2020, you buffoon. You know. But so I watched the movie, another Small Town Monsters movie.
Okay.
The Bray Road Beast.
Yeah, I think I watched this one. I think so.
Yeah, it's been out before, so I've seen it. And I think they had Terror from the Skies. They uploaded that. It's back up on Prime too.
Oh, really? Okay.
But I've only got to the Bray Road Beast yet. So this is like the Dog Man thing up in Wisconsin. Yeah. You know, basically, it's a werewolf, but they tie it into the Dog Man myth, I guess, or cryptid, I guess you will. I don't know about you, Harley, but I have a difficult time thinking we live in a world that has a Sasquatch and a Dog Man.
And a Dog Man, yeah.
Are you with me on that, or are you feeling a little bit different about that?
There are some. I do believe in this one. There's a pretty credible witnesses in this, and it's weird because a lot of them don't seem like they're I think I do believe there's one gentleman in here where it's like, and he talks about it, and he's credible, but it's not like he's really buying it either, though. He's more or less like, this is what I saw.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's talking about the guy that used to work for the state?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, but I don't know, Tim. Like, yeah, I do too. It's kind of hard. You know, a lot of these things I can only take on so much.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But it is a very interesting thing. But and Tim, especially you and I both, as much as we like the werewolves,
right,
and stuff, I would like to believe in the dog man,
right?
But I don't know.
I like Alien a lot too, but I'm not so sure that at least that type of alien exists.
I hope not.
It's like I like a lot of things that are imaginary that I don't really. Yeah. Now, my point is this: I'm not. It's hard. Like, yeah. Okay, a guy who likes to talk about Bigfoot and the possibility of the existence of it, because that's where I'm at right now. It's just I just think it's possible. I'm less of a believer than I was 5 years ago, but I still think it's possible. There are some things that have not been explained to me by a skeptic of anywhere. Like, any skeptic has not explained things to me like that are problems with their argument too. So I'm just saying it's possible. But the problem I have is that there's no one out there that can maybe say that maybe people are seeing the same thing. I mean, this is so strange. If you see a bipedal beast outward anywhere, like it's like, why would I didn't expect to see it there? You probably don't expect to see a bipedal hairy beast anywhere. So,
anywhere.
Yes. So if you actually see one, I would think that'd be very jarring. But I just have a problem with, so we have the ape version of the Sasquatch, and now we have the canine version of the Sasquatch. Yeah. So how many human hybrid, you see how I'm coming with this? It's like,
oh yeah, for sure.
Is there anyone out there like trying to figure out, are we talking about the same thing, that people are seeing it differently? Or
yes.
Are you feeling me on this? I have a hard time with this because, again, a lot of the same people that are Sasquatch enthusiasts also are dogman enthusiasts. And I'm like, is it the same thing? I don't know.
That's what I don't, and that's my whole thing. I don't know that it is. Like, I think, too, I don't think it's quite as large as a Sasquatch or what people have seen. Is it, but to me, it's just like, is this a werewolf, man? I mean, really, like, what is it? Is it a werewolf? Is it I don't know. I don't know enough about the dog, man. Just from the stories that you hear, it's like, well, it's also, and it looked kind of like a dog. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, that thing I was telling you about last week that I saw that they were saying was like a skinwalker. First off, how the hell do you know if it's a skinwalker? Okay, You know what I mean? That's that for me. When people say those things, how do you know, first off, what it is? You don't know what it is. Mm-hmm. You don't know what it is. So let's start there. I didn't know what it was. Right. Okay, but
that's kind of where I'm coming with it a little bit. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Because I'll tell you, this thing, it looked like, to me, whenever they witnessed it, it at first it looked like some kind of a werewolf type creature. But then when it finally got up and moved, it moved to the weird. But then it kind of took off. Look more like a wolf, but a giant wolf.
Right.
But I don't know, bud.
Aren't we almost kind of talking about the shape of the nose more than anything else, or the shape of the...
Yeah, that's the thing, too. Because I want to know,
Yeah.
I mean, does it have hind legs like a dog? Does it stand up and walk and run like a human, but with hind legs? Does it look more like a werewolf, or what's this thing? I don't know.
Well, when you're saying werewolf, are you implying that you think that maybe it's a person who turns into this, or are you?
Yeah, I don't know. Really? That's the thing. It's like, is it or what?
Now, do you think that, or you think that's what they're trying to explain?
I think that's what they're sort of trying to explain. I'm not sure I believe that. Mm-hmm. But what else are you trying to tell me? Does it have more human qualities than animal? I don't, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I have a problem too. And I do like the Mothman also stories.
Yeah.
I like the New Jersey Devil story too. I'm a New Jersey. That's why I like the
That's
New
the
Jersey
weird
Devil
one for me, buddy. You know that.
And that's, And I don't understand that one either. I don't get it. I don't know that I believe it. Really, I mean, people have seen something out there, obviously.
Well, okay, so there is a good example. I'm glad you brought that up. Because so what I'm asking is this: is like there are people who, which is weird to me, because conversely, there are people that kind of attach the Jersey Devil to Sasquatch or Bigfoot. I'm not buying that because people are seeing something very eccentric and very strange when they're seeing the Jersey Devil. I mean, that thing looks like a joke. To be really frank with you, it looks like a joke. I mean, you got to be kidding me. What? Yeah. Now, when they see Sasquatch, it's not a joke.
No.
You can totally see that. It's nothing really more than a gorilla that has a little bit of a different physiology, that stands up or something. Yes. Okay, I can make that leap. I can make that mental leap. I can't make the Jersey Devil mental leap, but somehow they like to attach that sometimes to Sasquatch. Well, what about the Dogman, which is almost the exact same thing with a different shaped nose, basically, and some ears, maybe? No possibility that they're connected. I mean, I don't know, Harley. See, this is the kind of stuff that makes me a little edgy and a little bit, because I would never in a million billion years begin to believe. You could show it to me in front of my face and you'd have a hard time getting me to believe that there's a real werewolf. There's a person who turns into a wolf. I don't care what Native American legend. I don't care. I do believe they have rituals. I do believe that people, they eat the right mushroom and run around, and are having an experience. A real experience to them. I believe that. A religious, a spiritual experience where they may be a wolf, or they may be an eagle. And I'm not making fun of that. I'm talking about a physical world, like the guy Charlie standing next to him eating popcorn, going, he thinks he's a wolf. He still looks like Herman to me. I don't really know what the hell. I don't understand, So that's what I'm talking about. I do not believe that at all, like whatsoever. Yeah. But the problem I have is if people are seeing something that they're calling the Beast of Bray Road or the Dogman or whatever. Yeah. These people like to make a lot of connections and connect dots that make me uncomfortable. Those seem like dots that wouldn't make me uncomfortable. And I don't see them connected very often. Do you? Mm-hmm. I mean, do you see the Dogman Sasquatch connected very often?
No, the only time I've seen that stuff connected is on that silly Mountain Men show where Bigfoot was using chupacabras as hunting dogs or some crap.
Yeah. But it wasn't a dog man, though. It was just
and that was the only time I've seen anything like even these related, except for when we talk about Bigfoot and UFOs. I mean, that's, but no, and the whole Jersey Devil, and I'm not kidding you, one of the reasons I became a New Jersey Devil hockey fan, especially when they came out, I was 12. Mm-hmm. They came to that name is because I was a fan of cryptids and the Jersey Devil and things like that. But I just don't. A lot of it, I just don't. I can't. It's hard for me to swallow that way, But I do believe, though, Tim, there are so many weird things out there that we have no idea about. But
that I don't discount that.
Yeah, but anymore, it's just like it's getting to the point where they're pushing so much stuff on us. Like this is. No, I don't think so. No, I'm just not. And trust me, Tim, I'm always looking. And I, going out to the lake the other day, I still had a hard time trying to debunk what I'd seen the weekend before.
The UFO.
The lights. I don't know what that was.
Right.
Still don't. I talked to one of the guys up there, and I was like, and he didn't make fun of me or nothing. He wasn't. I was just like, there's something that I saw. This is what I saw right here where I was sitting, and it was at night. And I said, and I explained to him everything, and he said, "Yeah, that's pretty weird, Ben. I can't really tell you either." And I was like, "And I don't know." It didn't. And Tim, I said, a lot of planes, not a lot, but a few planes flew over right in that area. Not so much that area, but overhead that you can hear them. Right. I couldn't. So, anyways, who knows, buddy?
I think it's kind of unfair because I think the UFO people kind of have like an easy way with the public because everybody's kind of seen something they can't explain like up in the sky, but not many people have been in the middle of like forests and stuff and seen things and so it's harder. I mean, they people who have seen a UFO get the benefit of the doubt way more than somebody. So I do have that sympathy for these people, but what I don't have is like what this Beast of Bray Road showed. They started going down the road of it being demonic. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, now come on now. Now you're basically playing T-ball with skeptics there. Yeah, and I can't defend that. Like I refuse. I can't defend that. I'm with the skeptics. I'm like, no, look, we need to establish something exists before we go into the alien, demonic, interdimensional, all this kind of crap. To me sounds like convenient excuses as to why you can't find it again, or it's just excuses to me. Like you don't have a better reason. But the problem is that what my problem with that is that I'm listening to people who go down that mental road. I don't go down that road. And I want to hear people's stories, and I want to see what they saw. There might be something to this. I'm still there, but at the same time, once you start talking about the demonic stuff and everything, it's like I'm out, man. I'm out. I can't. The interdimensional stuff, the stuff where it's human, I'm out. You know, I mean, if it's human, if there's humans out there, then I'm not saying that's impossible either. By the way,
oh no,
I'm not saying that people look. I live outside of town, but I ain't that far off the grid. I don't blame some people back in the 60s going, that's it, I'm done with you clowns, and I'm heading out to the woods, and they never shaved or something. Okay, fine. And they throw rocks at people that come too close to the log cabin. Fine, whatever. But some of this stuff, Harley, to me is just like, you're not helping. We've said this before on the show, and this is where I'm going to put it. And I'll let you respond here, but you're not helping people like us out.
No.
Or me, at least. You're not helping people like me. Like, I would never in a million years believe in what you would call a skinwalker, a shapeshifter. Yeah. I just don't believe it. I just don't believe it. I don't believe. And to be honest with you, I don't know if we have room at all for a dogman and for a Sasquatch to be different things.
Right. Well, Tim, I was watching, and real quick on that, another paranormal caught on tape, and there was a gentleman who was out, and his dog had saw something out, in the woods, whatever. And I don't think they were so deep out in the woods, but they were in a cabin or whatever. And I apologize, but his dog went out there, and you can see a larger animal out in the distance. And then when this thing got up, Tim, it was a wolf, a black wolf, and it was, and you saw it. It ran, and it was pretty close. This thing was humongous, man. It was like a wolf on steroids. It was huge. It was like twice the size of this dog, and this was a decent sized dog. I mean, it would have tore this dog in half. I would have been freaked as soon as it got up. I mean, it got up and started running like a horse. I mean, this thing was huge. It was breathtaking. When it stood up finally, because it was trying to hide, and the dog was barking at it. And then when it got up, it'd be like, I'm done with you, dog. The hell, it really, literally almost took my brother. I'm like, oh my God. I mean, this thing was huge.
Are you sure it's a real thing? It wasn't like a CG thing or something like that?
No, it was real. It was on screen for 10 seconds or more, and it was huge.
Now, when it went back on its back legs, though, was it clearly still a quadruped? It was not a biped, right?
It didn't stand up. No, it just stood up on all four legs and started going after this other dog. What it was doing was just kind of laying down, like a dog would, or whatever, just laying there, and then the dog sensed it was there, went out, basically was barking at it, and then this thing finally got up on four legs, was like, I'm done with you. You either get out of here, or I'm going to bite you in half, basically. And it did. It came after this dog, and this dog, like, trying to get away from it. And it did, and then this thing finally just took off, But it was huge, absolutely huge. Like, it looked like a little Shetland, one of the little ponies. I mean, this thing was monstrous.
Wow.
And I'd have been scared to death if I would not want to be out in the woods with something of that size.
Now look, now you're telling this story. So now if somebody tells me that there is a big wolf out there, like there's first of all, wolves, people look at you kind of funny if you say you saw a wolf.
Yeah.
Wolves exist, folks. I mean, and the thing is I even looked up, we've talked about this before. I saw a big cat when I was a kid. I don't know what it was. It looked like a panther to me. That's what we always talk about. Well, we have a lot of howling animals out here. Coyotes. Yeah. Okay? I know what coyotes sound like. And I know the difference between a dog and a coyote. Now I do. Because I listen to them a lot. And the thing is that sometimes I hear things. And you've heard some stuff out here yourself.
Yes.
Sometimes when them things get singing, when they get cruising and get cooking on their howling and stuff, there's some things in those howls that sound big. Some bigger things are howling with them too. And I'm telling you, it's either a huge coyote or a wolf. And what is a wolf but a huge coyote? So I have looked up wolves in Illinois and stuff, and they thought they didn't exist and they don't exist here except for the dozen that have been shot.
Sure.
Now, when we're talking about a society who says something doesn't exist after things are shot, here,
then
no, so you have to give some sympathy and a little credence and ear to people that talk about cryptids, because the state's telling you things don't exist that have been being shot in your state. So now I do believe the state did say now that there are some gray wolves here in Illinois and stuff. Now, if you saw a gray wolf or a big wolf, you haven't seen a wolf in the wild before, then you're going to think it's huge. And it is huge, by the way. So it's not that big of a mental leap for me to think there are big wolves, and maybe even like hybrid wolves or something very large, out there. Yeah. That's fine. I'm all that. It doesn't bother me at all. Like I totally am down with that. But some of this other stuff with the dog man and with the supernatural Hoots Fudge and all that, I'm just, I don't know. I don't know about that, But on the other hand, a big wolf or something, yes, I do believe in that, of course, that they're out there and stuff. But that's Where was that video you saw shot at? Do you remember?
No, but I have to get back to you on that.
Okay.
See if I can find it.
I just didn't know if you knew like what state. Or something like that. How far out of place was it?
I think it was in Canada, as a matter of fact.
Okay, all right. Somewhere. So the guy saw a giant wolf, basically.
Giant. I mean, it was giant.
Okay.
And I cannot
Wolfzilla,
to you.
Basically.
Yes. It was the biggest wolf I've ever seen.
Wolf Kong.
Gotcha. Big and black, and it was, I'd have been petrified, dude. I would have been, first off, for my dogs, I would figure that dog was going to get eaten.
Right.
And then for my own safety, after it went through my dog and then started coming towards me.
Right. Well, that'd be.
What are you gonna do, man?
Yeah.
No.
Well,
it's pretty crazy.
It's on the on Amazon Prime, the Bray Road Beast. The Bray Road Beast is called. So you can give it a shot. It's like an hour long.
Give it a shot. Yeah.
And look, here's the thing. I don't dismiss any of the paranormal things. I've had weird things happen. We've told our stories in the show. It isn't about that. I just don't know what those things are and how they're connected, if they are or not. And I think that we're making leaps of logic that I am uncomfortable with these cryptids. I just am. I'm uncomfortable with these leaps of logic. It doesn't make me want to be part of the club.
Well, here's the thing, because you and I, these last couple of years we have been force fed it, because we've gone on our own and watched these things and stuff too. But in a lot of these shows, and I know it is for me, and I think for you too, is just like, I am tired of being told, well, yeah, that's a Sasquatch. Oh, yeah, that's Bigfoot. Or that's a Squatch. Oh, definitely. How hell do you know?
Right.
And Tim, you know me, I'm a believer. I will go to my grave as a believer. I am. But you cannot. Oh my God, Tim, I was in the backyard, and then this thing happened. Man, that definitely was a squirrel. How do you know if you weren't back there? We got groundhogs back there. I got rabbits back there. I got all these things back there. No, it was a squirrel. Why? Just because it was. That's what I'm. You don't know unless you saw what happened. So you cannot. First off, we're talking about something that might be mythological, but you're telling me, no, that's definitely what that is. You don't have any idea. You didn't see it. You didn't see it happen. You don't know. Tim, I see so many trees pushed over just driving down the turnpike to go to the lake, or when I get up to the lake. I don't think all of them are Sasquatch. I don't think any of them are, bud. I really don't. I'm sorry.
I have a dead tree. I have a dead tree like right off of my knob, my pet cemetery knob, and it's dead. And it looks like a nest of other branches up in a fork. It's just they just fell that way, but it doesn't. It looks unnatural, but it's not. It's that's how they fell, and you would have no idea how that happened. And to be frank with you, I don't have any idea how it happened, except for this: wind. Trees die, wind blows, and they blow the branches off. And the branches fly places and do things that are just insane. I mean, I have branches in my yard. I don't know where the hell they came from, and stuff. Right. So this evidence and all this other stuff to me is very suspect. And I still think that my problem is not with the subject itself, but the people who are feeding us the information about the subject, I find very suspect. And some of these people, as humans, I like very much personally that we know.
Yeah.
I don't not believe that they believe what they're saying or they see what they're saying. am having a problem with their interpretation of what they're experiencing because of what I've experienced, not jumping to that conclusion.
Right.
And it's you just see weird things. I mean, it's a totally different environment. We talked about that. We don't know that environment anymore. We haven't been a woods living society for a long, long time.
Long time.
Yeah. But, hey, again, the Bray Road Beast, if you want to check it out, check it out. Yeah. Small Town Monsters has been uploading some stuff to Amazon Prime to watch for free. So check it out. Some of the things I like, some of them go a little haywire, like I said. But I
some
think
are really interesting. Some are fun, and I appreciate that they were getting better and better.
Yeah. They're fairly well done. They were fairly well done. The last Bigfoot one I watched where they tried to make it into like a fake movie and stuff too really hurt them with me. That really, really hurt.
Yeah.
I can't even remember what it was called, but it makes no difference at all. But anyway, so get those on, check them out if you have Amazon Prime. There's a whole wealth of Bigfoot stuff out there anyway. It's just hard to hack through the stuff. It's a little, the lesser
there are some really good ones out there, but then you get some others that are just,
but absorb them all.
Why not?
Yeah,
I mean, I've enjoyed a lot of them, and some of them are very, I don't say so much convincing, but a lot of them are very hard to debunk to you. Well,
right?
And like you and I've always talked about, we like the stories, and I just enjoy some of the people's stories and what they say, and it's like, man, it's. I don't think they're all lying. I just don't think they're all.
No, I don't think that either. I don't. Yeah. I don't think that they're either. Yeah. I just think some people are making mental leaps, like to things.
Oh, big time. Yeah.
Speaking of making mental leaps, Harley, let's get to our official film for this week. Let's see here. We got a doozy. We got a doozy here.
Yeah.
Yes, so from Indonesia. An Indonesian import from 1982. We have the movie Satan's Slave.
Satan's Slave, yes.
Let me get out movie guy here and give you a short storyline synopsis here for Satan's Slave. All right, here we go.
Okay.
A wealthy family who has stopped practicing their Muslim faith are tormented by the undead after their mother dies. Okay.
And that's how it gets going. It just goes right with that. Like we're all of a sudden, here we go, funeral.
Yeah, we start off at a funeral. Yeah, exactly. Yes, and then like immediately we go to like another strange to us, I guess, who are not Muslim or Islam. Another like ritual that people are having like around a big dinner table or something like that. Next thing you know, I guess the woman who is being buried, her son is sleeping in his bedroom. And then we have a Salem's Lot moment where the mother, all milky-eyed, comes floating toward the window.
Tapping the window.
Yeah, tapping the window. Yes, that's exactly. And then we're off. So basically what the story is that these people are not religious. So they're opening the door to be possessed and haunted by Satan himself.
Yeah.
So the mother comes back as
faith, and they deserve. That's what they deserve. Basically.
Right. So as soon as the mother dies, then her possessed spirit, corpse, what have you, starts haunting the family, and then anytime something happens to one of the people around the family, they come back too and start haunting the family. In a demon-y kind of way.
Very demon-y type. Yes. So have you seen this before, Tim?
No, I've not. So this is supposed to have been, from what I read, a take on Phantasm. No, I don't think that at all. There's no... Except the kid rides a motorcycle. It's about all we got going.
Yes. It's very Salem's Lot-ish.
Well,
very.
Yes.
At times, I mean, the creatures and then... But there's a lot of little other stuff.
I think basically to me, we're talking about a movie here that's more like a cross between three movies to me. Salem's Lot being one of them. Yeah. The Omen and the Amityville Horror.
Yes.
Those three, there are different like pieces of those movies kind of stuck in here. And I don't know where the Phantasm thing, I read this. I don't believe it. I don't believe that was supposed to have been.
There's no flying ball, no tall man, no.
No, nothing like that. Now, this movie was directed by Sisoro Gautama Putra. who did a little movie called The Warrior that we also reviewed. You remember that with Jaka Saboon with Barry Preeman?
I quite enjoyed that one.
Yes. Right. Now, I was kind of hoping for that kind of level of insanity.
Yeah, me too.
We got it, but not the same energy of insanity that we got with The Warrior here. Basically, the kid, the son, Tommy.
T-O-M-I?
Yeah, T-O-M-I. Yeah. So Tommy follows the mom out to like a spooky tree type of place. And then Tommy also has a sister.
Yes. He sees this all happen.
Yes.
Tim, can I say this real fast?
Yeah.
This might help us.
Okay.
This movie, the people in this film don't do anything like what people in real
normal
life,
humans. Yes.
There is nothing normal.
Right.
What happens in this movie, there's nothing normal. The reactions to things, the pace that you would go to save somebody, or the things that you would think about in a normal real world apply not in this world.
Right.
It's all, so she basically witnesses this stuff happen. Like, here's her little brother out looking up at this figure who supposedly looks like her mother.
Right. Demoned out, totally. Floating around,
Floating in the tree, and he's standing out there watching. She runs to the door to help him, kind of. And then when she opens it, the caretaker's there. Mm-hmm. She talks to him for a minute. You don't know who he is, actually, at that time. He's just some guy at the door. You don't know he's the caretaker yet.
Right.
She talks to him for a minute and then shuts the door. And the next thing you know, it's morning.
Right.
Like, wait, what just happened? Now, wait, is Tommy okay? Right. And she wakes up and she goes over and she knocks on his door like, Tommy, are you in there?
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be in there because he was just out there with some specter in the middle of the night that would have, scared anybody. And you just went to bed, let him,
Well, right, and then the family takes up a brand new routine, awful easy in the morning there because the mother's dead, and I guess the sister just starts making breakfast for the family now.
Yes,
and it's like nothing ever happened.
No, nothing happened.
Yeah, and then so after they eat breakfast, the sister says she's going to go to the grave. Already, the grave, they just died a day before. And the dad says, okay, but don't be late. Your mother's just died.
Yeah, your mom just died. Don't stay out late.
What the hell does that mean?
Hell did that mean? It didn't mean it. You know what I mean? I was like, what does that mean?
Right.
Because Tim, we have subtitles in here. So I was able to pay a lot of attention.
Right.
Because I had to read it.
Right.
So this stuff was falling so weird and so flat to me. I'm like, this is not even how people function in the real world. I don't know.
Right. Well, so she goes to the grave. Okay.
Yes.
Now that little line there behind there was to your point that no one's acting the way that anyone should do. Now, here's the other thing, though. The scene, though, with the mother and the floating and coming to the window did show us one thing, that visually this movie is going to have some spooky moments.
Yes.
Legit. Whether or not you're completely lost your suspension of disbelief because of the bizarre screenplay and everything. Yeah. There is visually very good things, like the corpses and the demon-y corpses and stuff look great.
They look good.
They look great. Yeah. Very, very Salem's Lot-esque vampire type things. Or I guess, there is a toothy grin coming up toward the end, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
So she goes to the grave, and then Tommy shows up for no reason. Yeah. Just stare at her in a spooky kind of way.
Yeah, like he wouldn't come over and he put his arm around his sister and say, "Boy, I missed Mom," or bring some flowers. No, she turns around and he's hawking her. Right, like he wants to kill her.
Right,
like what the hell's that all?
And now to set this up too, we've already had shots of these two kids, I guess you call them, in their bedrooms. Now, the boy has some kind of weird zombie coyote cat. Right above his bed on the wall.
I would never want to run into that cat anywhere. Man.
I don't know what the hell that was. And the girl has a poster above her bed of some hot model with the butt floss. On. Yeah, some butt floss going right up the crack. And it's like, what?
That was blowing my mind. Like, and then also... above her desk, her little desk that she does her work at, she has a gigantic picture of herself.
Yes. A glamour shot. Yeah.
I'm like, what is going on here, man? Like, it's got that. And then, like, why would this girl, I don't want to say, but why would this girl have a picture of basically a nude woman on her, And
then I guess as Tommy goes to see a, quote, fortune teller.
Yeah.
Who gives a tarot card reading using giant playing cards.
Yes.
I don't know if that's accurate. Exactly how it's done, especially when she pulls over the King of Clubs and calls it, the Black King, meaning your life will be dark. And, well, no, it doesn't, but why quibble?
Not nice, yeah.
So we have established now that the mother has died and that the mother's haunting the family. Now, we're kind of jumping ahead when we're giving you a reason because they're not pious enough, basically, in their faith.
Right.
So Satan's after him. So it doesn't matter. It gets that. But basically then what happens is old Herman Handsome Pants shows up. We have a boyfriend alert here, Herman.
Yes, Herman.
Who looks like the second falsetto in Menudo in 1978. Dead ringer. I don't know if you didn't realize that. But anyway. So he comes up, shows up. Now, if you notice this too, we are dealing with a different culture. Did you notice that not once when the boyfriend shows up to the house do they even get COVID close? No. They social distance a lot. Like the one boyfriend will sit on the couch, or the boyfriend will sit on the couch, and his sister sits across the room on a different couch. I'm like, that's a little pious, I think, right there. Yeah. But, again.
Well, like at one point, like there's, because Tommy's really kind of coming unglued at first and starts kind of messing with the occult.
Right.
And so some weird stuff starts happening, like phones start ringing, people are calling, and no one's there. They get ding-dong ditched at one point. Like, and then all of a sudden, the family portrait, falls off the wall, crashes down. They pick it up, but Tommy starts bleeding on it. His nose starts bleeding. And the next thing you know, there's the boyfriend.
Right.
He didn't knock on the door. You didn't even know he opened the door. And then, like, they don't even introduce him. Like, you're like, who's this guy, man? I'd have been like scared, like, oh my God, who's this guy? And they're just like, oh, everything's fine. And then after about a couple minutes, then you realize, oh, they must know him, or
he appears in the house with like this shit-eating, like weird look at his face, like staring, and they have this big stare down, like
it's like the most awkward thing. I was like, and that's where I started picking up, like, there's nothing in this movie that is even close to being like
no. And what does he do? He shows up to give her an invitation to his big party. Right. Yeah. The invitation though looks more like a car loan paperwork of some sort. Yeah. It's like this giant. It's like what the hell is this? Like, couldn't you have just said, "Hey, I'm having a party. Come to my place"? I mean, I don't know. So yes, and the party is it's a barn burner, Harley. I mean, this party.
We had a party at the lake just like that on Saturday night. Where the DJ down there out in the open with some.
Was he rocking to the song "Sweet Surrender" like they were?
Yeah. He busted that out. Yeah. The only problem is most of the dancers at this party I was at were kids and like moms that trying to get out there and still dance a little,
Right.
But it reminded me just of this party. I'm not kidding you. It was hilarious. And I'm like, we just left this party.
Right. Well, I tell you what, that party is just a horrible and tasteless exploitation of locals as extras who clearly have no idea what they are there for or what the hell is going on at all.
Yes. Yeah.
Although you have to admit, after like checking that out, you have to admit it appears that Herman does have some game.
Yes,
he's got to have some game.
Yeah. That shirt he was wearing, that polka dot shirt he had cooking was pretty swell.
So, and then basically the creepy ghost mom just keeps appearing and menacing.
Yes.
Throughout the film too. You also get introduced, and as you said, you did get introduced to the person at the door, right? Who was at the door. Now that was like the groundskeeper guy who lived at the house. Now it looks to me like the Indonesians wanted their own John Carradine.
Oh yeah, and I think that he might have been
right. He's got a little bit more of a David Carradine thing going on. But I think they were shooting for John, and they ended up with the lower end David Carradine. I mean, actually, these are you could actually tell the filmmakers, you silly people, you could just hire John Carradine.
Yeah,
he ships in a crate,
perfect,
with some straw and a little bit of fruit on the side there. He'll show up. He's usually got film with him too, and now he's got some asthma, Mr. Ben Harley. He's got asthma.
Oh, he's got it bad because every time he was on screen, I started breathing hard. He really is having a heck of a time throughout the whole movie, like bad with his asthma.
Right. So once we've set up that we have a groundskeeper and that we've had a daughter and a boy, and we have Herman, the boyfriend, and we have a father. Now, the father's an architect, okay? So he's working at his place of work, his office, and he has two clients come in, and they say basically, hey, sorry your wife died. Just to help you out, we're gonna send you a replacement maid.
Can we help you get a housekeeper?
Yeah. I mean, it would just happen like a day or two ago. And he's like, oh, no, I'm fine. And then somebody shows up to talk to him. And the secretary comes in and tells the dad, there's someone here to talk to you. Who is it? Well, he's here to do this. I told you, only business here. He can go to my house. Yeah. What?
Yeah, meet me at my house. Yeah.
What? You can imagine me going, whoa, you ain't going to my house, brother. Yeah. You come here and work.
That's my sacred place. Right,
exactly. Come here. So, although he refuses the new housekeeper and the new maid, who shows up to his house but a new housekeeper lady who shows up and just gives everybody the stink eye.
Yeah, and she looks very familiar from like a lady that was at the funeral, the lady who did the tarot card reading. Like for Tommy, I'm like, doesn't Tommy recognize this lady? Man, I know those glasses she had on were thick, but not that thick.
Right.
And then, that's
what she does. She shows up to stink eye everybody for like 35 minutes.
Serious stink eye, man. That's Medusa-esque stink eye, man. Like, she scares the one boyfriend almost right out of the house, man, with that look, boy.
Right. So Herman runs afoul of her.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So now, what we have here now, once the housekeeper shows up, this is where it goes to me. Where it goes into the Omen territory.
Spooky.
Well, it goes more into the Omen territory with the satanic housekeeper maid or whatever kind of pulling the strings in the house.
Yeah,
in a way, and that's basically where it goes. Yeah,
yeah, because Tommy he actually sort of he's doing some of it's funny because he's doing these satanic stuff. He's trying to meditating and then as it progresses, then he starts getting some like. Some werewolf masks and like the masks that people wore in.
They kind of throw in he's a horror fan. Yes. they like he's sitting here in his room and he's surrounded by a bunch of horror magazines and things. And then I guess in his basement he has a bunch of masks like you're talking about. Yeah, like werewolves and the Frankenstein monster and stuff. Like out of nowhere. I don't know.
Yeah, and then he starts dreaming like, he's that he gets killed by that one lady.
Mm-hmm.
So he actually goes to get another book, and I think it's more of like another satanic type book. But then the guy at the bookstore says, "Hey, you're too young to be reading that, and you need to get closer to God anyhow." And talks to him, and actually gives him a good talking to, and so Tommy changes his ways and takes that book that the gentleman gives him and starts to try praying. And then that breaks out the mom again. She comes back all spooky looking and everything and tells him, stop that. And then floats away again.
Right.
What?
Right. So then the mysterious guy that shows up at work, at the father's work, he shows up at the house because that's what the guy told him to do. He said, come to my house, my personal stuff. And then he tells the guy he don't feel good. So go away. Now he doesn't want him at his house either. So that is a long route to blow somebody off.
Yes.
It really is. It's like the longhand way of doing it. So that's a little tidbit in the background that's happening. Now then Herman, he doesn't fare so well on his motorbike.
No, he's on his way to talk to a shaman.
Yes, and he ends up trying to bunny hop a truck. That doesn't go well.
No, because Oh, what's her face? What now? What was her name? Damphilia or something. The stink-eyed maid.
Oh, the maid.
It's like
Darmina. Darmina. Yeah.
So she actually walks across the street and looks like an old lady. And causes him to swerve from her. And then my favorite character of the movie, the truck driver. Guy had a great hairdo, man. Oh my God, it's awesome. So basically they see each other, they both scream, and then you're right. Like Herman's
it's a total bunny hop.
I go, how the hell did he get up there? You know, and he pulled a wheelie. No, not even pulling a wheelie to done that. And like, and how do you bunny hop a bike like that? I don't know. That's a little hard. Yeah. He ends up flipping in the air and lands, which looked like a really nice landing in the back of this truck.
Right.
Like perfect landing. I'm like, oh, he's fine. No, Tim, he is not, is he?
Right. No. He's got some sort of gelatinous substance on his head that's supposed to be brain matter coming out, I guess.
At first I thought it was like yams or some
I don't know what it
sweet
was.
Potatoes at first.
Yeah.
He's dead. He's fine. He landed in a pile of sweet potatoes.
Right.
But no.
Right.
He's dead. Dead on arrival.
Well, then he comes back as a ghost with Snagglefang ghost.
Yeah.
He's got fangs sticking straight out of his mouth. It's like, whoa, hey there now, you know. So basically, and then what basically happens is it's very Omen-esque, but the lady, the new housekeeper is basically causing the death of everyone around the core family, and they're coming back as ghosts. So what you have here is basically three ghosts. You have Herman, the mother, and then you have the David Carradine character, and they all come back, and he still has asthma. The damn ghost has asthma.
Yeah.
So he's got some tough asthma, man. Now, I got to tell you, while this was all happening, and especially like toward the end of the film where the three ghost specters are chasing the family around, Angio, good old Angio, happened to notice that there were curtains on all the doors. Oh, and she happened to say she was really worried about why there's curtains on all the windows and all the doors, even the bedroom doors. She says there's curtains hanging off there. I looked over at Angie. I looked over at Angie and go, I really don't know, but I got to tell you, that is the least eccentric thing about this film right now is the curtains on the doors. So we had a moment there where I had to, look, the movie, and there you have it. And so, of course, when all hope seems lost and everything has come to a head and all the ghosts are attacking the family for no other reason, apparently, than they're not pious enough. That's the only. There's no other trigger.
That's the only reason.
Yeah, there's no other trigger except they aren't like super religious. Yeah. So then, just when all hope is lost, when all is dashed, they open the front door, and who's standing there but the guy who keeps getting blown off by the dad, who just happens to be a powerful shaman.
Very, Well, remember, Tim, real fast. Tim,
go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, we can't skip over the
first shaman, right? The first shaman. Yes, gotcha.
After all that stuff happened, and Herman's a German, gets crashed his bike. He
Snagglefangs,
Snagglefangs, So then, basically, they talked their dad into because some bad things keep happening to the kids. So they finally tell the dad, "Please, can you get a shaman to come in?" So he does. Right.
And they're not religious, so they don't really want to do it. But finally, all right, fine, whatever will help you people. Sure, right.
Yes. Right. And it's funny because the beginning of the, what he's doing, like the seance type thing that the shaman's doing, is first real corny. It's like, oh, man, come on. And you can tell the dad's not buying into it. But then all of a sudden, he really gets into it. Like, he gets into it where he's like, feel like he's fighting some entity well, then all these things start happening, like crazy stuff. Right? Okay,
So he basically triggers them. The shaman comes in and starts losing his gourd, and then he basically triggers the climactic ghost descending upon the house and attacking everyone. Basically,
And the shaman's trying to get the spirit out, and he says, "I will destroy you." So there's this fight against good versus evil type thing, and there's lots of wind and. At first, I thought the Circus of Pain was showing up because there was a confetti going. There was some confetti popping or something. And then it turned into shooting shards of glass.
Right.
And, Tim, I cannot stress to you how funny I found this next part. So there's shards of glass flying around, and then it happens to be like 4 or 5 shards of glass that keep following this shaman around, and he's ducking them, and he's, like he's Bruce Lee, or, he's, he does everything but get under the table, which probably would have helped him.
Yeah.
He's jumping over chairs.
Right.
He's like kung fu fighting these shards of glass that are floating inanimmately in the air.
Right.
And then to top it all off, Tim, what happens after that? The chandelier, which is glass,
it chokes him out.
It starts spinning around, and it comes off of the ceiling and starts spinning madly after him. Oh man! And then it ends up getting him. Yeah, it gets around his neck and kills him. And then when he falls down, then what's her name shows up. We'll give him the stink eye again.
Yeah.
And I would have, at that point, I'd have been like, it's her. It's got to be her. No, they still don't believe it's her.
Right.
The dad, after all this stuff happens, they're still trying to explain to their father what's going on, and that they, and then the son saw the 2 ghosts bring the mother back to life out of the grave. Mm-hmm. And he goes back and he's telling him what he saw, and the dad still doesn't believe him. Did you not just see the shaman get killed right in front of your face? Right. You saw all this stuff happen, like The Exorcist,
right?
All this stuff go down, but you still don't believe it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the father still believes the old stink eye through the whole thing.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. It's the whole thing. Yeah. Look, and then after that, Well, then after that shaman gets ringered around the neck, when he gets ringered around the collard, man. Then that's when that all seems lost. And then they open the door, and then the guy they've been blowing off, he's there with like half the town. And they all they sounds like start power praying toward the ghosts and demons and stuff. And take care of shit. That's all. You really just need a power pray. You need a lot of people praying in one direction, and that's what's going to happen.
She looked like Liz. What was it at the end, too? She looked like Elizabeth Taylor.
Oh, my God. After a bender, maybe a little bit. Yeah. Look, the movie itself is very silly and very laugh-out-loud funny, but it does overstay its welcome. I'd say about 15 minutes.
Yes. Because there's, Tim, if there ever was a movie that had padding in it, it's this movie. It's and so much padding and like long shots, and this taking so long to do when you don't need this much. No, you know what I mean? It's just.
But in fairness, all of the dialogue, and I mean all of the dialogue, is insane. It is insane, and I don't know if it's a translation problem or if it's just I have no idea, but it is absolutely insane. But, it's so you have to kind of pay attention to that in order not to get a little bored. Yeah. It's not a boring movie. I think the thing is, too, is that we're watching a movie that was directed by this Putra guy who did The Warrior. And Jaka Sambung is much more entertaining than this film. I'm not saying this one's bad, but that one is a weird, bizarre Indonesian action film that is trying to take its cue from maybe like an Indiana Jones type of thing. And this thing is trying to take its cue, obviously, from The Omen or Amityville or something like that. And it just kind of slows it down a little bit. But here's the thing, though. The print and the transfer in this movie are absolutely fantastic. Severin put this thing out. Yeah. And I looked over to Angie. I was like, Angie, this movie is almost 40 years old, and it's from Indonesia. Yeah. And it looks like it was made tomorrow.
Yep.
It's unbelievable what some of this restoration, some of these transfers. I mean, I don't know if they kept the print that nice, and it's just
you can see the pores on the people's faces in this. It was so clear, man. To their detriment.
Right. No kidding. But so I don't know. For me, it's a mild grape ape up though, because it was entertaining and funny and fun. I wanted it to be a little more zippy. A little more like jump in the next scene, and I think The Warrior was kind of like that. And I think that what we're looking at here is a movie that's not supposed to be that. And here's the other thing too: the monsters and stuff, they are kind of creepy looking. Yeah. Now it's not a scary movie, but I will say, like when the mother comes up to that window and starts poking at it, you're like, that's Salem's Lot. That's absolutely Salem's Lot. And they do great with like the milky white eyes and stuff like that.
And things look really creepy. And I'll tell you the two that, they become the henchmen, Herman and Zorto or whatever his name was, the caretaker. They look really spooky. The only problem I have with them is they move so slow. They don't really do much. They
didn't menace
and come at you.
Yeah, they menace.
Menace.
Yeah,
and that's why I was laughing. I'm like, what are these guys going to do to this whole mob of people? First off, it's going to take them 3 minutes to get to the mob, and then which is they're only like 30 feet away. But no, Tim, the same thing. I'm going to give it definitely just a mild grade.
Yeah.
I can't poop on it at all because it's a decent movie. It's just, and the fact that it was that awkward and bizarre to me had me laughing. I mean, just, and sometimes just guffawed, like, what the heck is going on? What?
We're watching a movie that's having a hard culture translation.
Yes.
Is what I mean. Part of it is a dialogue translation. Part of it is us watching it thinking people are just not acting exactly the way they would in the West. This isn't the same culture. We don't have the same traditions and things. And these things are butting heads a little bit when you're trying to watch it, which happens. I think a lot of the films that are not as well known here in the West, that's the reason, I think. It's not because they're good or bad. I bet this movie scared the hell out of people in Indonesia back in '82.
Oh, man.
They probably scared the hell out of American kids over here, like watch it, just because the ghost zombie things or whatever are so creepy looking, just like Salem's Lot, basically. It's definitely worth checking out. Now, the only way I know you can see this, I don't know, you might be able to stream it or watch it digitally, I don't know, would be to buy the Severn Blu-ray. Now, they did a great job on this.
Unreal.
Absolutely, it does. Great. And I don't want to get people not to buy it, but if you're interested in seeing this movie, this is the way to see it.
Yeah.
I love The Warrior. I think these movies, to me, they're so crazy and so insane. They're hard not to have a soft spot for.
Sure.
And it's hard not to have a soft spot for this movie. Although I don't love it, again, a mild grape ape up. If you're interested in seeing this movie, Severn hit it out of the park. If you're not interested in seeing this movie and you're kind of a popcorn muncher, I don't know if this is going to do it for you.
No. If you're too serious of a movie goer, like this is not going to do it for you. You're going to be upset.
Right.
But like I enjoyed the awkwardness of it. It actually made me seriously. Got me more into it. I was like, because with The Warrior and some of these other ones that you and I've watched, they're so heavy also on the visuals. This was just heavy on the bizarreness. Like it just was, everything was not normal. You know what I mean? And it just kind of threw me. But I enjoyed it. I will agree with you. Same thing. You know me. Every movie's too long, just about it, unless it's one of my favorites, and then it's perfect. You know what I mean? But because I'm a jerk. But anyways, this one is 15 minutes too long. It is. It's just 15 minutes too long. And it, I tell you what, once the shaman showed up and we had a flying chandelier that was flying around, it looked like one of those brooms, one of those things now you do your house, you put it in the bucket and it spins around, those mops. It looked like a flying mop or whatever. Like it just was spinning. It just, I could not get, I enjoyed that scene so immensely. I was like,
right.
How many times do you see flying chandeliers in movies spinning around like buzzsaws? Right. So you gotta appreciate that. You know what I mean? Sure. And a shaman that's trying to kung fu fight glass and stuff. It's great. And so whatever.
Satan Slave. There's a mild grape ape up from both me and Harley. It's a goofy, fun. Foreign horror film that's very awkward, very funny to try to find any kind of coherence in it or anything.
If you like awkward, this is your movie.
Yeah, good time, but some really good effects and really good visual effects. Probably don't even need to watch it with the subtitles, but that gives you an extra laugh, when you're doing it. So, but anyway, all right. Well, Mr. Ben Harley, not sure what we're doing next week.
It'll be riveting.
It will be riveting. That is for sure. So to all you deep thinkers out there, be good to each other, stay safe. And to everyone else, we'll talk to you next week. So stay spooky, and we'll talk to you then.
Keep it creepy, people.
You've been listening to the Timo and Harley Show, brought to you by ScreenPrintingFactory.com, your affordable one-stop solution to all your screen printing needs.